Wanna play?
Here's Johnny!
I need a bigger boat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wanna Play. My name is James McKenna, and today we're going to be doing a video that might get me in trouble. Because today we'll be doing the first ever top 15 list on this channel, and also the first Friday upload. So there you go. I'm going to start posting twice a week now, which is something that I never thought I'd do, but 2 times a week we're going to try and do Friday and Sunday. So yeah, today's video is going to be the top 15 best final girls of all time. Wow. Almost every single horror movie has a final girl. If you don't know what a final girl is, it's basically the girl who ends up living in the end, really. It's when the killer comes in and kills, for example, if it's a teenager movie, like all the teenagers are at a summer camp, the killer comes in and he kills all the teenagers, but the one girl, or sometimes guys, but we're not going to be including them on this list. I would be lying if I didn't say that some of them may be influenced by my opinion on the movie. And one more thing, the rules about this are the final girl can only be in one movie. Well, not that. Some of them are in a ton of different movies, but only one select movie I can choose. So, for example, if it's from the Halloween franchise, I would have to choose only one of those movies if the final girl was in a bunch of them. And also, I can only do one per franchise, so yeah. There's a lot of rules to get out of the way and a lot of ways to narrow it down to only 15. So, yeah, without any further ado, oh god, let's get straight into it. How'd you like my new top 15 graphic? Number 15 is Carol Ann from Poltergeist. Now, I guess she could technically not be a final girl because, I don't know, she's kind of dead, she's sucked in the TV, and her mom could technically be called the final girl in this movie, but I guess I'm going to have to give it to Carol Ann, really because she was the better character in a movie that I'm sure I'll discuss later. I don't want to leave it ambiguous here, but I don't like Poltergeist. It's crazy. I thought I would love it, but I recently watched it for the first time, actually. I haven't seen it, and I just recently watched it, and I really didn't like it. It's not that I didn't live up to the expectations, I just didn't like it, and I'm sure I'll discuss it in a later video, but number 15 is Carol Ann from Poltergeist, the little girl. I am, oh my god, so sad to hear what happened to her. It's just a terrible thing, but number 15 is Carol Ann from Poltergeist. Coming in at number 14 is Kirsty Cotton from Hellraiser 1. Now, I mean, she was in a couple of other Hellraiser movies, but this is by far the best Hellraiser. Honestly, it's not really even an opinion. It really just is the best Hellraiser. But Kirsty Cotton is really what adds to that, another thing that adds to that. And, yeah, the way she actually defeats Pinhead and the Cenobites, as well as sort of defeating her own stepmother in a way. It's just an awesome character, and it's just such a different way. We've never seen anybody open up a puzzle box and really make some Cenobites shrink into thin air and send them to literal hell. We've never seen that before. Kirsty Cotton is a great final girl. She's super well acted as well. So, yeah, number 14 has gotta go to Kirsty Cotton. This is what I'm talking about when I say that I'm gonna get in trouble for this list. Because number 13 is Ellen Ripley from Alien. Wow. I know a lot of you, and by a lot of you I mean probably all of you, absolutely love Alien, but I don't know, I just didn't really find it as awesome as a lot of other people do. I thought it was kind of slow at times, boring a little bit. Don't get me wrong, the final scene when she's fighting the alien in the end, it's awesome, but as I said in the intro, some of these are going to be influenced by my opinion on the movie, and this is definitely one that's influenced by my opinion on the movie. Even though the character is great, I just don't really like Alien, and I haven't seen Aliens yet. I haven't seen any of the sequels, so maybe that'll change my mind. But yeah, don't kill me, please. I know a lot of people love Alien, and a lot of people love Ellen Ripley, but it's my opinion. Calm down. And at number 12 is Helen from Candyman. Helen is an underrated final girl, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people love Candyman, and a lot of people have seen Candyman, but I think that Helen is really an underrated final girl, mainly because, well, she does die in the end. Maybe that doesn't qualify her to be a final girl, but I will still count her. Candyman is an awesome, awesome, awesome movie, as well as Tony Todd being one of the greatest killers of all time. But Ellen is an awesome character to stand up to Candyman, and just basically all the scenes with Candyman and Ellen, as well as Ellen and her boyfriend, it's just super great, which is why Helen gets it on this list. But at number 11, maybe the smartest final girl on this list, because it's the Clarence Starling from The Silence of the Lambs. Clarence Starling's story is that she's a detective in training, and all of her, I guess, superior detectives who have already graduated detective school or whatever, can't figure out the case of Buffalo Bill, who's a kidnapper in this movie, but the only person who knows about him is Hannibal Lecter, the cannibal who everybody's way too afraid to talk to, but when Clarence declares that they need to talk to him if they ever want to find out the story of Buffalo Bill, they all laugh at her, make fun of her, and so she just does it on her own. They accept the fact that she does it on her own, and she figures out all the situations. She catches Buffalo Bill, and is maybe the most fearless too, because Hannibal Lecter is such a scary character, and she just went in and just really talked to him, kind of softened him up a little bit, gave him a couple deals, and yeah, really good final girl, really good character from Silence of the Lambs, one of the greatest movies of all time. But another one I'm very afraid to say, because it's in a franchise where every single movie has a final girl, and a franchise that everybody loves and has their opinions on the best movie in it. Kicking us off at number 10 is Tina Shepard from Friday the 13th Part 7. Wow, okay. A lot of people love Ginny, a lot of people love Alice, a lot of people love Chris. Yeah, this is my favorite final girl in the franchise, and it's at number 10 because a lot of the... It's at number 10 because a lot of the final girls in the Friday the 13th franchise are, yeah, they're pretty boring, and also because the rest of them, I guess, are better in my opinion. But the reason she's up here is because she's absolutely the most badass of them all. She has telekinesis, and she blows Jason up. She hangs Jason. She smashes lights over Jason's head. Does so much stuff to Jason, who is played by Kane Hodder for the first time in his career. So that's nice. But yeah, she's super cool. It's a very, very unique concept for the Friday the 13th franchise to have a girl also with superpowers like Jason Voorhees with telekinesis who battles Jason Voorhees. It's almost like Jason versus Carrie or something like that. And yeah, she takes the win over Jason. Probably the most decisive one as well, because she beats the crap out of him unlike we've ever seen in the entire franchise. So number 10 is Tina. Our first single-digit number is number 9, which is going to go to Beverly Marsh from It. An underrated final girl in the fact that a lot of people don't really think about her when you think about final girls, but she is part of the Losers Club who pretty much all do survive, and she's a very tough character, one of the toughest in the entire club. So when she goes in and whacks Pennywise over and over and stabs him in the gut in the first one, which is the one that I'm going to go with, Beverly Marsh in It Chapter 1, 2017. She's just a super awesome character who comes back from so much stuff. She gets bullied, she gets abused by her dad, and she just sticks Pennywise in the end, taking no more BS, and it's awesome. Beverly Marsh has to get a spot on this list, even if it's not on anybody else's. And yet another one that I'm probably going to get yelled at because it's too low on the list or whatever. Number 8 is Sidney Prescott from the original Scream. Good God. And number 7 is going to shock you since it's higher than Sidney, but hear me out. Sidney is an iconic character. We can't lie about that. But I put her somewhat low on this list because I think it's almost unbelievable how many times she gets attacked and she fights off Billy or Stu and she goes to kill him but he disappears, and it's pretty much unbelievable for me. So Sidney gets number 7, which, I mean, still the 7th best final girl of all time, and there's a final girl in almost every horror movie, and there's probably over 1,000 horror movies out there. So yeah, very good placement for her, but I know I got a lot of Scream fans, so sorry that your favorite is number 7 instead of number 1. But hopefully I have more fans of Chucky than I do of Ghostface, because at number 7 is Nika Pierce from Curse of Chucky, which I'm actually going to give this one because she's another very original character as a girl in a wheelchair with a birth injury where, you know, she can't feel her leg. So whenever Chucky goes to stab at her, since he's like a short guy, he stabs at her leg, but she doesn't feel anything and he kicks him off. It's great. Nika Pierce is a great character. I don't necessarily like what they do with her in Cult of Chucky because she kind of goes insane and it's weird because it's such a different character from Curse of Chucky. I much prefer her in Curse of Chucky, but she's an awesome final girl who, once again, just doesn't take any BS from Chucky. She just comes in, smacks his head off, stabs him over and over. It doesn't matter how psycho she looks, at least she's trying to survive and at least she's succeeding. So that's why number 7 is Nika Pierce. But good lord, talk about not taking any BS. Number 6 is Erin from You're Next. You're Next is a home invasion movie where a bunch of people wearing animal masks, one of them is right there, invade a house of friends, but unfortunately for them, one of those friends is Erin, who goes absolutely ham on every character. Oh my god, she beats the crap out of them. She doesn't even care. She's just going in. She wants to live. She wants to live more than anybody else. She's such an awesome fighter. I cannot describe how good she is at fighting. It's insane. She's crazy. And you can see it in the movie. I mean, good god. But kicking us off in the top 5, and okay, hear me out now. This is the top 5 best of all time. We're not doing any eras. It's of all time, which is why she's not number 2 or anything, because number 5 is Nancy Thompson from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. An awesome fighter and a super iconic character, almost as iconic as Freddy. Nancy Thompson is a great character, a great parallel for Freddy. She lights him on fire. She doesn't care about her house. She just wants to live, which is the best final girl stereotype you can have. You just want to live at all costs. She burns Freddy alive despite the fact what anybody's gonna think. She sets up so much traps. She's a very smart girl, and she's really handing it to Freddy throughout the whole movie. So number 5 is Nancy Thompson from Nightmare on Elm Street, which I'm actually surprised myself I didn't rank any higher. Remember how I said Bev got abused in It? Well, that pales in comparison to the night of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because number 4 is Sally Hardesty from the original Texas Chainsaw. My god, she takes so much abuse. She's just tied to the chair the whole night when all the Sawyer family just attacking her, hitting her, assaulting her, abusing her, insulting her, just making fun of her the whole night, Grandpa hitting her with the hammer as the best killer there ever was is great. And when she eventually runs away and somehow just manages to outrun Leatherface in the end, it's awesome. The shots of her dying laughing in the back of the truck, making her escape, blood all over her face are incredible. Unmatched shots in my opinion. The cinematography of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so good, and this really just proves it. She's such an awesome character, and it's so relieving when you find out that she lives in the end. But coming in at number 3 is one that nobody's gonna have this high, but I just like the character in the movie so much that it's gotta be. Number 3 is the only one who really dies. Marion Crane from Psycho. She's not necessarily a final girl, but I count her as one. She's an awesome character. You don't think she's gonna die, and she's part of maybe the most iconic scene in literally horror history. The part where she gets stabbed in the shower, which I talked about in my Psycho walkthrough, is absolutely incredible, and it's super scary, as well as the rest of Psycho, and she really adds to it. She's playing innocent even though she stole a bunch of money from the bank. It's just awesome, and although she doesn't necessarily have a will to live, she's a great character regardless, super scary, and awesomely played by Janet Leigh, who, spoiler alert, we're gonna see more of her family later on. But at number 2 is one completely inspired by the movie around it, Wendy Torrance from The Shining. A lot of people would leave her off the list too, because you don't really think Wendy Torrance when you think about The Shining, because she doesn't really have any friends. There's only like 4 people in that whole movie. So Wendy Torrance slips a lot of people's minds, but I think she's absolutely top 2 final girls of all time. Some people would say that her acting is a little bit overboard. Stanley Kubrick himself even, I think, maybe he was just being mean to her for fun, but I think that the performance put in by Shelley Duvall is so awesome. It's the 3rd best performance of the movie, but what are you gonna do? It's great. Shelley Duvall in this role is awesome. Wendy Torrance is maybe even the scariest character, because when she screams and freaks out, you feel every single one of it when Jack's axing his way through the door. She's the second bit of that scene, and she's an awesome character, insanely well acted. When I hear people say that Shelley Duvall went overboard with the acting in this movie, I have no clue what they're talking about. She's awesome. In my opinion, she's the best acted on this list. But that's just my opinion. But at number 1, because I also have a will to live, is Laurie Strode. But not from the first 2, not from 2018, and not from Resurrection. Halloween H2O Laurie Strode, because the first 2 are kind of generic, you know what I mean? Laurie stabs Michael in the eye, but then drops the knife. She runs upstairs. She does all the tropes that a final girl does that annoy people. And in the second one, she's kind of hobbling around, not really doing much. And both times, she doesn't actually get Michael Myers. It's always Loomis who has to come in and save her. That's just my thoughts on Laurie Strode. But in Halloween H2O, when they shot it, unfortunately, Donald Pleasance passed away, so there was going to be no Loomis anyway. So Laurie really had to square up herself, fight Michael Myers, beat the crap out of him, beat him up, and then axed his head off in the end. Oh my god. Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 Laurie would not do that. Halloween H2O Laurie, completely different story. She takes an axe and chops her brother's head off. She does not care anymore. She's been abused way too much by her brother. She chops his head off, and it's a really fitting end to H2O, even though Resurrection completely ruined it. But that's my list on the top 15 greatest final girls of all time. Did I miss your favorite out? Of course I did. Let me know what your top 15 or top 10 or top 5 or whatever favorite final girls are in the comments below. I'm going to give a quick shout out here to the man who I was inspired by to do this video, Cody Leach, actually. Some of you might not have heard of him, but it will be right up there, the link to his video of the top 10 best final girls. I don't know how he narrowed it down to 10, but I got it to 15 at least, I guess. Not 20 or anything. it was not easy for me to get to the top 15 best final girls, but I did it somehow. So yeah, that's my list. Hopefully you enjoy my new schedule of 2 uploads a week, Friday and Sunday. It's gonna be tough for me to keep up with, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So yeah, as I said, let me know what your favorite final girls are in the comments below. So thank you very much for watching. Check out my later videos, but yeah, thank you for watching this one. Check out my next walkthrough, which is going to be coming out in 2 days on Sunday. So yes, thank you for watching. Goodbye and good night. Bang. Please do not do that to me. I don't want to die.